now is something crucial for us. Also, it's something really important.
Right.
We're working even harder from the last 2 years in the Alumni Network. We got like more than 40,000 students all around the world. And it's crucial for us because most of them, they cooperate in the future with the school. So, or they get people on the internships with their companies, or they're coming to the school to explain their experience, or they come to the school as a professor because they go.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Sporting Global podcast. And today I'm here with Victor from Real Madrid Graduate School. And Victor, first of all, how's everything doing? How are you?
Hi Ole, everything's going great. Just enjoying another sunny day in Madrid and having the chance to talk to you again. So a nice day for me.
So sounds like a great day, and thanks for taking the time. And we're obviously going to cover a little bit into the role that you have at Real Madrid Graduate School, some of the programs you guys are offering, what makes it unique, all this good stuff. But before we dive into that, thanks for joining us. And of course, like the video, subscribe as well, and make sure to comment below what you think about the episode. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure to do that. All right. Well, Victor, first of all, why don't you talk a little about, your journey in the sport industry? Take us a little bit, how it started for you.
Well, my journey in the sports industry started maybe as most of us, enjoying sports as an amateur and trying to get our career in sports. But then later with the years, you start realizing, you start turning back to the studies instead of going professional in any sports and then move on and became just a fan about sports. And well, after that, I got a chance to arrive to Universidad Europea. I got a chance to meet the school, the Real Madrid Graduate School, and I got a chance to make my master's degree in sports marketing. Once I did the master, I got the chance to join the school as a marketing responsible. So from there till now, I have enjoyed my two passions, which is marketing and sports. So a perfect journey.
Did you ever kind of think about the possibility or opportunity to go into kind of the educational side of things, or how did that kind of in a sense, how did that happen for you, or just talk a bit about just considering going into the educational space?
No, I was here in Spain working, and then I got a chance to came to Universidad Europea, meet the university, meet the project they had, and then I decided to join this educational side, which has been really surprisingly since the very first day that I joined the university.
Sure.
It's such an enriching environment. You got people from all countries around you.
Yeah.
You got people who are experts in all areas. So every day you're discovering new things, you're learning every day. So it's an amazing environment. So if somebody has a chance in their lives to join any education environment like this, I totally push you to do it. So go ahead. And since then, really every day learning again new things and trying, to give something back to the community, to our students, right. and for sure always trying to give the necessary boost that our students always need from the people who's already in the industry, and trying to help them on their projects and their classes.
So obviously you're the marketing manager at Real Madrid Graduate School. Talk a bit about, what are some of your key responsibilities? What are some of the tasks that you have?
Well, key responsibilities, mostly the same as any other marketing responsible around the world.
Yeah.
So basically designing and being over the marketing plan for every year, surveying the budget for sure, trying to be as most efficient as possible. And since the very first day of the year, we start implementing our marketing plan. And from there on, just following our plan, doing the actions that we already planned before the start of the year, then coordinating all the teams, talking with the people in order to be the actions at the right moment, evaluating the results of them, the KPIs, and then taking different decisions instead of just controlling it. So once we can see a trend, or once we can see something that we can correct, for sure we take the appropriate decisions, and then we switch our plan if it needed. And then mostly is that. And if we go in details, obviously working with different partners as the social media, Facebook or Instagram, working right. with Google, with you guys, with so many other partners that we have around the world in the sports industry. and organizing all kind of events in which we show our programs, our masters, and our professors to our community. We always try to give back, and we always try to give some some knowledge and some experience that our teachers had to the community of the school. So always trying to do this kind of actions, which are obviously for me also the most positive and the most satisfying actions.
Oh, for sure. And talk a bit about, what are some of the programs you're offering, and a little bit about, what is so unique about the Real Madrid Graduate School?
Well, what makes us unique in any sense of the word is Real Madrid. We are the only school of Real Madrid, the biggest football club in the 20th century by FIFA. Which a club with a history of winning, a club with a history of royalty, of being always respectful with the other teams, trying always to look for the excellence, trying always to work on a team. So we're always, trying to improve the values of Real Madrid in the education.
For sure.
And then if we talk in the sense of the practicity for why we are unique, we are so unique. Well, we started the school in 2006. At that day, there were no other school 100% dedicated to sports industry related programs. Yep. So we started because mostly Harvard started studying the Real Madrid case to their students. So Real Madrid decided they gotta go into education, and they got to give something back to the community, to the society, and also train the professionals of the future of the sports industry. So we started in 2006 with an MBA in sports management, which right now is one of the best in the world. And then from there on, we start moving on with different programs. Right now, we got 23 programs in presence in our campus in Madrid. We got partners in more than 10 countries all around the world, from Australia to the US, passing through Europe or India. We got also around 25 programs also online. So our masters, you can study in them in Spanish, in English, online, in presence. You can do certificates, or you can get the master's degree at all. So the offer is unique because we are covering all the areas, all the fields on the sports industry. And we are always trying to be pioneers of the industry. We always try to advance which is coming, the trends that are coming to the industry. And we start always trying to get new programs, adapting our curriculum to what the sports industry needs. So from the day one, the school was professionalizing the sports industry. In the beginning of the 2000 years, the professionalization of the sports industry was not that good like it is right now. So we were working on that side. And from then on, we always realized what the industry needs, because we got all people coming from so many sports institutions, so many sports organizations coming to our classes as professors, as cooperators. We cooperate with so many institutions. So we always are in touch with the industry, and that allows us to know what the industry is needing in any moment. So to give you an example, last year we launched a master in sport technologies and digital transformation. Just decided to develop the figure of the innovation manager and the transformation manager for sports organizations to get into the new area in the digital transformation era. Or this year, we're improving also a new program in sport tourism. So we're seeing how sport tourism and how city marketing is becoming so important for regions, for countries, and also for the sports, in order to develop an sport in different countries or in different regions. So we're always trying to improve. We're always trying to look for what the industry needs, and always trying to provide the right professionals from the industry.
Right. No, I mean, like makes a lot of sense, right? I think this is obviously, one of the key elements when it comes to sports education, which is, so fresh, right? Like there's always new things happening. We always talk about like, you kind of have to treat it as like, every day, there's something new. You always kind of have to stay on top of the trends, and if you're gonna educate the future leaders, you need to provide that, inside knowledge, right, in order to make it work.
I totally agree with you. In fact, one of the most important things for me about working in the sports industry or related with the sport industry is how every day is different, how everything is changing so fast. And then you gotta be over it, in order to get the trend, in order to know what's happening in the industry, what's coming in the future, and then know how to evolve and know how to adapt to the new situation. So this is something amazing. So if somebody who watches us today is thinking about jumping in the sports industry, do not hesitate, not even 1 sec.
100%. We're going to talk a little bit about, tips as well, more closer to the end. And I mean, like, I wanted to talk a little bit about, some of the things that you touched upon, especially in terms of, sort of like the global relationships, the different partnerships you have, across the world, because obviously, you're offering some programs both in Spanish and some in English. And talk a little about, how that has impacted the international student base, how the international partnerships are sort of like, tying into, or overall, the goal of educating, the best people for, Real Madrid as a club, but also, of course, other great institutions and brands and clubs in the industry.
Well, this is not only for the sports industry. Right now, we live in a world which is 100% connected. So you can anymore say, I'm from Spain and I live in Spain and I want to know how the trends and how the industry is in Spain, because if you do so, you will remain 5 steps back of your concurrents. So you need to work on a global level, no matter in which industry. And in sports, it's even more important, this global level of working, of trying to get the trends and trying to get the formation and the training based in all business model coming from all around the world. So this is something really important for our university and also for the club, for Real Madrid. That's one of the reasons that Real Madrid chose Universidad Europea, is because we are one of the most international universities in Spain. So we got like 40% of our students, they come from abroad. And if we are talking about the school, only the school, more than 75% of our students, they come from other countries here in Madrid. We got people from more than 70 nationalities this year. So every year we're growing and growing in the international markets. We're getting more and more international students. And we think this is perfect for us and for our students, because I got the chance to be an international student and working abroad for so many years. And when you are in your classroom with people from cultures which are totally the opposite of yours, then you learn how they see the world, how they understand the things that are happening in the world. And maybe their understanding is totally the opposite of yours. You get a different view, and then you learn how to empathize with their vision of the world, how to, how to adapt to their vision and how to adapt to different visions of the world and different visions of the problems and the solutions. People from Mexico works totally different from somebody in India or in the UK. So if you mix them all together in the classroom, for sure they will be able to adapt the ones to each other's, or at least they will learn how to adapt for their future. And their future for sure will be surrounded of people from all the countries. So if you want to succeed in the sports industry, and if you want to succeed in any industry right now, you need to be able to understand all kind of visions, all kind of cultures. So for us, getting international students, having international students here in Madrid is one of the key aspects of the school. And we are always trying to improve in our programs in English. We're always trying to get more and more programs in different languages in order to get people from all the countries around the world. And this is basic for us, So from the very first moment that I took over the marketing side of the university, I came from working in other countries. So I also brought my international view also. And for me, it was clear that having people from all the countries in the classroom is an added value for our students.
Right. No, 100%. And I mean, like, the sport industry, as you were talking about, is so globally, whether you like it or not, it's just the way it is, particularly, for example, professional sports, right?
Right. For example, our international partners, for sure, their students are studying at their university, but all of them, they're coming to make different periods here, different exchanges here. So they can spend 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. And at the school, we're always trying to mix all the students that are coming from international partners with our students here in Madrid, with the students online in different projects, or mixing students from different areas. So the students from training and nutrition maybe made a project together with the students of the marketing, because they have to improve their personal brand. They have to know how to manage all the social media, how to sell the product that are themselves. So it's important for us to get all our students mixed. So we also develop different events, like, for example, our Get Together, which is an event which is something really, nothing formal. It's something really casual. It's is a football tournament in Valdebebas in Real Madrid City, where all students are coming from all the countries, and we mix them all. You don't play with your friends, you play with people that you don't know from other classes, from other countries. And then there you got a time to exchange, to really, get to know those people. And finally, get to discover those new cultures that are studying in the same school than you.
Right. And just, I was just going to comment essentially on the internationalization in the classroom, right? But you're essentially taking it a step further too, because you're, mixing, as you were saying, like programs as well. And I'm sure, just having that perspective is going to create a lot of great discussions, a lot of, great improvements, in terms of, as you were saying, just respecting cultures, understanding how different, industries and countries are working, but also, getting that eye opener, right? And from a different program that perhaps, are doing, completely different from what you are, but perhaps, are giving that perspective that you need. And overall, I think, the future leaders of the industry, they need to kind of, understanding all aspects of the industry. Obviously, you need to specialize and be, really good at what you do, but it's just that understanding, right? A level of understanding of how different sectors of the industry are working. So I think it's a very good way to kind of open that up naturally, in a sense. And that's
even more Ole, because years ago the school always had international field trips, so the students travel around the globe and they go to discover business models in the sports industry. I totally remind one of the biggest highlights of our master when I studied sports marketing. We were like 12 days traveling around Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany. We were visiting Anderlecht in Brussels. We were visiting Ajax Amsterdam, PSV. We were visiting Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, watching football on those countries, having meetings with their marketing managers in order to discover how they work, the fan monetization or the fan engagement, how their fans are, how they are working with partners, how they are working with the sponsors. And you see how different it is between one country and another when they are all together. Even they are neighbors, Netherlands, Germany, Brussels. But even like that, we decided this year to open all our international trips to all our students. So from the next year on, all our students will have the chance to choose amongst one of our international field trips. So all the students will have the chance to visit for some days some other countries, and also discover business models from the most important sports organization in those countries. So for example, our people from our MBA and business programs, they travel to New York and then they visit the NBA, the NFL headquarters, stadiums like the MetLife Stadium or the Madison Square Garden, and they discover how to manage a facility like that. How, for example, they got an NHL match and then in 2 hours they got an NBA match and they switch everything. So this is something unique. And we really think this is an added value that when the students will finish their studies, they will understand the importance of getting all the perspective together, not only their own one. Discovering how business models are rules in other countries and other regions. This is crucial for the future.
Right, and I wanted to talk a little bit about, because clearly, these international partnerships, these international classrooms, at the end of the day, that creates a very international alumni network. Talk a little about, the importance of the alumni network at the Real Madrid Graduate School, like a little bit about, how that has kind of, been developed and grown over time.
Well, the alumni network right now is something crucial for us. Also, it's something really important. We're working even harder from the last 2 years in the alumni network. We got like more than 40,000 students all around the world. And it's crucial for us because most of them, they cooperate in the future with the school. So, or they get people on the internships with their companies, or they're coming to the school to explain their experience, or they come to the school as a professor because they got their PhD, or they're working with the school in different research projects, or working directly on the final master thesis of the students. So for us, it's crucial to have our alumni really close to the school, because we are always trying to give them as much as possible, and they are always trying to give back to the school and to the community and to the future students. So for us, it's crucial to have them. This year, we're having our first alumni meeting. There will be 2 days in Valdebebas, in Real Madrid City, in their business center. We will be having different alumni coming and explaining their experiences, where are working right now, in which project they are working, or if they're working in new trends in the sports industry. So we'll have like 2 days of conferences and lectures and networking events, because
Right.
you know, sports industry is all about networks.
100%, 100%. And just to kind of, I guess, in a sense, move on and change the topic a little bit. I wanted to bring up something, which is obviously a big deal for you guys, which is, that the school was awarded, with the biggest honor in Spain for a sports organization, the Stadium Cup in 2019, for your work towards, the professionalization of the sport industry. Talk a bit about, what are the main trends you're seeing in the sport industry in terms of job opportunities and the need of trained professionals?
Well, it depends on the fields of the sports industry, but for the near future, we are seeing a clear trend in the sense of the business on the big data businesses.
Right.
Big data is going to conquer all the industry, in the field and off the field. So that's why we are developing new programs. As I told you, like last year, mastering in sport technologies and digital transformation. This year, we also launched a new program last year in big data and scouting in football, in order to analysis of football methodology.
Right.
We're having a new master in high performance conditioning in order to become a sports scientist, which is one of the most requested job positions in the near future in the sports industry.
Right.
So basically, sports industry is following more or less the trends of all the other industries. We are a little bit late as always, because sports, is an industry where we are a little bit reticent to the changes, to change everything, the business model that we were working with since 20 years ago. So it's hard, to get these innovations. But luckily for us, we are cooperating with Real Madrid, which is one of the most innovative clubs all around the world, or sports organizations all around the world. So we got the chance, for example, to cooperate with Real Madrid Next, which is their own entourage of startups that are transforming the club in all levels. So our students work with those startups, works in really innovative projects. So basically, we're following the trends of the rest of the industries in sports. And luckily for us, we identify easily where we are going, and we are trying to keep providing the trained professional that the industry will need in the future. And then maybe in the near future, we will have again the same price.
Well, I mean, like at the end of the day, though, I mean, like it comes down to, as you were saying, like, clubs like Real Madrid, being in the front seat, right? In terms of, like, what is the things that are happening, right? Obviously, you see trends and new technologies emerging from other industries, but how do you implement that into the sport industry? How do you make it relevant? How do you, as you were saying, taking that risk or opportunity rather, to take advantage of that and making sure that this is going to be something that the football industry or the sport industry is going to benefit from, maybe not today or tomorrow, but like a year from now, or maybe even 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It's that glass bowl, right, that you're
Exactly.
kind of working with.
For us, it's mandatory. It's one of the main values of the club is excellence, not as a mandatory thing. It's mandatory path. You should look for excellence always in what you're doing.
For sure.
So if we're looking for excellence, and we are one of the most relevant sports organizations around the world, it's our must to provide the society with the right training. And it's our must to provide the sports industry, the formation and the training to get the right professionals in the future. It's our must to contribute for the growth of the industry. So that's why we are always looking to improve and get new programs in order to provide the right professionals in the near future.
100%. And lastly here, I wanted to ask you, one final question, and that is, what tips do you have, for people looking to find, the right kind of sports education program? Like, what is some things that they should keep in mind when they're exploring the options?
Well, as I told you before, sports industry, it's a network industry. So I think first of all, you should have a look on the professors you're gonna have. And more than the professors, the real contact you're going to have with them. So, I mean, it doesn't worth if you got the best professionals in the world being your professors, your teachers, if then maybe after the class, they leave the class and they don't even talk to you.
Right.
For us, it's almost mandatory that all teachers, they got their time to exchange with the students, to help them on their projects, to be available for them.
Yep.
And you create a real network, you create a real relation with those professionals that are coming through the classroom. Sure. And in like this case, for example, you got people coming from the best sports organizations worldwide. So you're already raising an amazing international networking for your professional future career. Then you should look also for professional opportunities. It's for sure, it's obvious that universities should provide the students with the right professional opportunities to start their professional career. And then finally, you should look also for the projects in which you're going to be involved. So if you're going to have a master in which you're only going to study and having classes and then maybe some projects, but with the teacher or the professor, right, it's okay. But my recommendation is if the master will provide you real experiences from day one, like real projects or real patients or working directly with a football club, no matter the size of the club, or working directly with a sports association or organization, and being involved in the industry since the day one. Right. That's something that you should value the most, because it's there where you will be able to show and prove those professionals that you got the right package of skills to jump into the sports industry. And it's there where most of the opportunities will arrive to you. Right.
100%. And with that, Victor, I would like to thank you so much, for taking the time, for sharing your tips, your insights, a little bit about, what makes Real Madrid Graduate School unique. And with that, of course, thank you so much for taking the time, Victor.
Thanks to you, Ole, and all the team of SportIn Global. You're doing a great job. So sky is the limit for you guys, and we'll be here together in the near future. Thank you for this time also to you, Ole.
We'll make it happen together, reaching the sky of the limits together. And of course, for all of those of you that have been here all the way at the end, make sure you like the video, subscribe as well if you haven't already, and make sure to sign up at SportIn Global if you haven't, so you can, connect with Victor, Real Madrid Graduate School, see what programs they're offering, of course, explore job opportunities, connect with the right kind of people. And of course, if you want to, maybe, kickstart a little bit some courses or education in the industry, make sure to check out the SportIn Global Academy. There's also some great webinars, masterclass from Real Madrid Graduate School, so check that at academy.sportingglobal.com. And with that, Victor, just one final thing before we wrap up here, and that's a little bit of a podcast tradition that we have at SportIn Global, and that's I have to teach you a little bit Norwegian. As I think you know at this point what it might be, as you probably heard it many times. But as always, we have to finish with "Vi snakkes," which means "see you later" in Norwegian. So that's what you have to say.
Okay. Vi snakkes, guys.
Vi snakkes. All right. Thank you so much, Victor, and everyone.